There is bound to be a lot of drama, action, and adventure if animals and humans are interacting with each other. Unbelievably shocking, incredibly surprising, or immensely terrible. Hang on, as here come the most mind-boggling animal moments no one would have believed if they were not filmed on camera. Jumbo, the kind gorilla. This gorilla made headlines all around the world, and for all good reasons. On August 31st, 1986, a small boy named Levin Merritt was on holiday with his family in Jersey when he fell into the gorilla enclosure at Durrell Wildlife Park. Everyone around the compound knew that the fate of the boy was in the hands of the gorilla, who were all gathered around the boy. One of those gorillas was Jumbo, who came really close to the boy and touched him. No one knows what happened to the alpha male, but he not only left the place himself, but also took every other gorilla away with him so that emergency staff could get the boy out. A truly exceptional thing to do. Jumbo won the hearts of everyone around the world and really upgraded the image of gorillas on the whole. Killer whale protest. Orcas are apex predators and are one of my absolute favorites on the planet. Watching them in captivity is truly heartbreaking for me, and when I saw this, I lost it all.
She'd love to be free in the ocean. Here she is.
Yes, this is an orca, banging its head across a metal gate in frustration because it felt lonely in the small water cage. It was a protest of its own kind. The clip went viral in an instant and caused a huge outrage among animal rights groups. The zoo officials say that the orca was simply panicking, but the footage taken by an anonymous visitor at Loro Parque in Tenerife, Spain, looks more than that to me. Morgan, the killer whale, was kept in a medical tank away from other orcas. And if that wasn't enough, in 2019, another killer whale was seen bashing her head against the glass wall. This clip was filmed by anti-captivity activists who entered Marineland and observed Kiska, their last surviving orca. The clip, with the message that this cruelty must end, went viral in an instant. What's your take on it? Go ahead and tell me in the comments section. Panda needs jacket. This panda needed that jacket, and this man came so close to it that it decided to grab and get the garment itself. Okay, I understated a bit. It's an attack, but luckily the animal just got his jacket, and therefore the man ended up being fine instead of ending up in an ER. The incident happened in a Chinese zoo in August 2011, and this man became the Darwin Award winner for posing for a picture before a panda enclosure right after the bars of the cage. The animal was quick to decipher it as an intrusion and attacked the man. People around helped the struggling man escape, and the panda was left with a jacket. The way it was playing with the jacket in the end made me think that maybe it just wanted to have it. Shark rescued. This guy was out fishing when he saw a beached shark struggling to get back to the ocean. After several unsuccessful attempts to drag the stranded shark back to the ocean, he took a totally unexpected and quick decision. Lifting up the snout and holding the shark gently in his hands, he picked up the shark, flipping and twisting around. And at last, he managed to carry it up and handed it over to the ocean waves. Pearl inside snake. This is a very good way to become a millionaire. Leave for the wilderness and Indian forests, look for a king cobra, catch it, and open its head up. Voila! There is a black pearl in its head waiting for you to hold it and become a millionaire. Only if it was true. The clips are going viral over the internet, and people are really curious if the cobras can produce $1 million black pearls called Nagmani or not. Well, here's the deal. They cannot. So don't go finding them and cutting their heads off. Snake charmers in India deliberately insert a pearl inside a snake and then take it out before camera or an audience to impress them. Elephant gets treated. Wait, this one is really interesting. You know all the plastic pollution and the wild animals accidentally consuming them? These animals can definitely not digest them, and that plastic accumulates in their tract unless external help is given to them in the form of vets taking it out for them. Now, this is all very unfortunate, and hundreds of operations take place to keep the animals alive, just like this elephant. But all I wanted to show you was this clip. The whole waste of weeks emptied on the poor vet. I don't know what to feel for him, but for the elephant, it must have been such a relief. Kudos to the doctors who save animals from their unspeakable, uncommunicable pains. Shark C-section. This one is truly insane. A fisherman rolled in a dead shark which turned out to be pregnant. Now the man knew he had no time to save the babies through a normal delivery, so he instantly prepared the shark for a C-section. I didn't know sharks could give birth to so many babies, 100+ in this case, but they were alive and moving. The fisherman looked experienced, and he gathered all the babies at one side. Unfortunately, the clip ended there, but it is said that the man dropped all the baby sharks back into the water. Watching a shark C-section is really, really rare, so a very valuable piece of footage indeed. Chimp learns electricity. Animals are very innocent when it comes to learning human concepts, and finding out how the electric fence wire works is truly a painful one for them. This clip was captured by a tourist who was watching a family of chimps in a zoo enclosure. Suddenly, the baby chimp, out of curiosity, touched the electric fence wire, which delivered him a healthy dose of electric current. The baby went shrieking back to her mom, and this whole family gathered around him to console him. The chimp instantly felt better, but he definitely learned a hard lesson of never touching that wire ever again. Deer from hell. Wait for this one. It will surely freak you all out. This is a deer. Yeah, normal, routine deer running away from the cameraman. You know, pretty normal stuff. Let him run. Yeah, good going. And holy mother of God, what on earth is this hell item? Turns out this is a deer with a broken neck moving around in the bushes. But God, oh God, I don't want to believe it. This thing cannot be true. The same deer, or perhaps another one with the same broken neck, was filmed again in 2019 in St. Mary's, Idaho, USA. The man said that the deer has been roaming around for about 4 years with a shockingly distorted neck, and yet continues to have babies. Trip and dead. The reason I was not believing the whole deer living with a broken neck thing is this clip. A herd of bull elks was crossing a road and fence lines, if I could zoom it in for you guys a bit, and they're all crossing. Jumping this high is not a problem for them, but tripping is. One of these elks tripped on a fence and flipped over by planting its antlers into the ground. The tripping was so bad, the dude couldn't get up and died on the spot due to a broken neck. My search says that the elk died right there within seconds, and the later struggle was just muscle spasms. Could be wrong about it, but what do you guys think? This is quite remarkable that the whole incident was caught on camera, though. Dolphin calls for help. Now, I've seen and shown you guys many clips of people helping dolphins, but this one is by far the clearest of all underwater clips. A bottlenose dolphin had a fishing line stuck to one of its fins, and she came straight at the diver when he called her in. The dolphin calmly approached him and rested near him while the man cut the rope around her pectoral fin. I don't know if it was a line or a hook, but the animal was definitely discomforted by it and circled around the diver. When the man finally removed it, she took a sigh of relief and went her way. Hammerhead eats stingray. This one is great. You guys know aquariums often showcase some wild incidents, but my favorite one was the collision between a manta ray and a whale shark. Both the animals were like, "I ain't moving, man, you gotta move," and then said sorry to each other and went their separate ways. But the next one on this list is a great clip. A hammerhead attacking and eating a stingray.
Wow! He caught it! Oh, wow! Oh my gosh!
Wild, raw, and ruthless. And that too, right before the visitors. When you put a bunch of hammerheads in an aquarium full of rays who happen to be their favorite meal, what else do you expect? The shark took the ray for a long ride around the aquarium for a full show before finally gulping it down. Lionesses kill lion. This one is epic. See how the lionesses are all gathered around and teamed up against that one lion who couldn't do them all now? No healthy lion will ever go down like this without a fight. Surely looks like the lion was either sedated, sick, or old. Whatever the case, this was a ruthless and unbelievable sight getting caught on camera. The zookeepers refused to intervene on the account of it being a natural and raw process. My guess is that the lion would have survived had he been given a chance by the zookeepers. Otherwise, the way these lionesses decapitated and mauled the lion, it was obvious that he was not going to come out of this one alive. It would have been better if the officials had put him down instead of forcing him to linger on life in front of an audience of horrified tourists. Canoe over gator. Imagine you came out to canoe in water and suddenly realized that this might not be the place for your canoe to be on it. This man had the fright of his life when he saw that its canoe was actually on top of a massive gator. Still, I'm amazed by the sheer courage of the man who calmed himself down in an instant. Thanks to the canoe being see-through, the camera captures clearly when the gator rose up from the muddy water and bumped into the canoes. Thankfully, the gator moved back in the water and the man decided to leave the creek. But you know the proverb, out of the frying pan into the fire. The boat ramp was blocked by a bunch of gators, so the man decided to take on the small one and try his luck, which worked and he went his way. Selfie gone wrong. Showing off is always a bad idea, and showing off with a python? Well, that's a very bad idea. Villagers in West Bengal, India, reported a huge python in their field and called in the forest rangers to rescue the mighty snake and take it back to its home. The rangers got the situation under control as soon as they came, and everything was going well until the senior officer decided to have a selfie with the snake around his neck. Not a very bright idea, I must say. The python constricted its body around the neck of the man, and that display of bravado soon turned into a life and death battle for the officer. Thank God the rangers were quick on their feet to help their senior officer. The snake was retained, and the man was doing fine in the end. But a lesson for everyone is, selfie with a snake? Never a good idea. Hippo surprises kid. Surprise? I think fright, shock, blood-curdling encounter would all be better words to describe what happened to these kids swimming in a small river somewhere in a remote village of Africa. Now, don't worry, no one was hurt. Thank God. But my mind's still going numb thinking how no one anticipated this encounter, how the hippo was so well camouflaged in the muddy water, and how stealthily, smooth, and calm it was under the water until that time it surfaced to the top. No one could even think of its presence. And if you're worried about the third kid, well, he went into the bushes on the right side of your screen. Everyone was fine in this spine-chilling encounter. Angry sea lion. Sea lions are making headlines every now and then, and well, usually not for good reasons. Either we humans are interfering with their lives a lot, or they're simply fed up with their lives and just take their anger out on us. This is the third time I've seen an angry sea lion chasing and trying to attack a fisherman. The sea lion was calmly enjoying its fish, but a fisherman came to tease it. The situation looked terrible and aggressive, but the fisherman managed to save himself and left the animal with its food. Now, my question is, why, dude? What, you don't like your limbs and skin intact on your body or something? Don't tease these poor animals, or else they know how to get things right for themselves. Man and shark flip. Another idiot with a shark. Thresher sharks are called threshers because of their immensely powerful and huge tails. And this man here is trying to lift one on his boat. He had this coming. I can't say anything else. If this man thought that he could have possibly held a thresher shark in his hands and would have lifted it onto the boat, I mean, come on, he had it coming then. He was fine though, just a nice dip in the cold water. I must also say that he was experienced. The way he slipped and flipped but held onto the boat and managed to save himself from the shark. That thresher was small but powerful though. Elephant seal on streets. We better go back in caves, as our streets are now being taken over by elephant seals, and God, are they huge! This clip hails from Chile, where an elephant seal was seen strolling down a neighborhood, and the residents of Puerto Cisnes were baffled to see it there. It's not every day you see a seal shuffling on the street. Some of these brave residents came out with large black tarps and herded the confused animal back into the ocean. Sightings of elephant seals are quite rare, and the chances of it crossing paths with you are very slim to none. But let me tell you, if you do come across one, well, that 13-foot adult with 4,000 pounds of weight can really shake your car, crush your body, and make a big bill for the insurance companies. But I still find them cute with their weird little noses. Skateboarding gone wrong. Alright, wait, this one's actually funny. So this dude thought it'd be a good idea to tease a small guard dog just because it was confined to the lawn. But the dog came out of the small opening. And what was next? Well, a race for life or the ER. It honestly was a great deal that the man raced, filmed, and balanced himself all at one time. The dog was left behind, and the man went on his way. But the next day, he came on the same spot with his grocery and was casually talking about his past day when this happened. Man, those dogs really had a vendetta against that man. The poor soul was terrified. Lifted by giraffe. Of all the lifts that I've shown you in this video, hands down, my favorite one here. The kid was feeding a leaf to a giraffe in a zoo, but the animal just lifted him off his feet in the presence of his parents. And if it wasn't for the parents, I don't know what the giraffe would have done with the boy. Typical zoo moments. Yeah, zoos are constantly filled with tremendously funny or incredible moments. Once, a man decided to ride a rhino in its enclosure and went on to hop on it. Just another incredible zoo moment. Hit of a man. Take a good look at this clip and guess which country it hails from. An old man with a frying pan, a charging crocodile out of a pond, and a crazy, mad hit like this. Sounds and looks Australian to me. And yep, filmed in Australia's Northern Territory, an old owner of a tourist lodge smacked a charging crocodile with his frying pan, and the video's gone viral for all the good reasons. From this hit of a man, I just remembered a clip called the tap of a man. It's insane how the gator just popped out of the water like a pet, but that was no pet. And my only question is, what would have happened if the man had fallen into the water? A death roll or a straight up bite to heaven? Seriously guys, this is very stupid. Don't be doing such things out there. Shark versus spear. Spearfishing off of Australia, a man came face to face with his worst nightmare. Diving deep into the ocean blue, he noticed a bull shark emerging from a distance of a few feet below him. All at once, the shark charged directly at him with jaws wide open, preparing to take a chunk from its flesh. But he managed to go with the flow and did the only thing he could. He plunged his spear gun into the hungry mouth in self-defense, but the shark ripped the spear gun and the line out of his hands and tussled with it. Watching the shark messing with a spear, he quickly managed to get himself out of there. And the shark below is fighting with that spear. Whale surprising jump. Not every marine being is there to scare you. Some are just there to surprise you. This breathtaking moment was captured a few years back when a boat full of whale watchers got a spectacular view of a humpback whale breaching close to their ship. One of the tourists was setting his camera to capture some memorable moments.
Just keep on watching.
So he's over here right there. I don't even see him.
When all of a sudden, a humpback whale gave them a massive surprise after popping up next to their boat and sending huge splashes of waves onto it, leaving the spectators in complete awe. Thankfully, it jumped next to the boat and no one was harmed during this astounding encounter. Great white chewed boat. Filmed off the coast of South Africa, a group of thrill seekers was out to explore Mossel Bay but ended up becoming the center of attention. Riding on an inflatable motorboat, the crew noticed a great white shark appearing on the water's surface and swimming next to their boat. The crew was excited to see the great white, which definitely had some other plans, as within the nick of time, it sunk its teeth into the rubber, leaving the boat slowly sinking. The curious fish might not want to harm anyone, as it just took a chunk in front of the wide-eyed crew. But before this simple investigation took some worse turn, they managed to swim to the shore. Thankfully, no one got harmed, and the boat motored away at the end of the video. Octa versus Homo. Humans might think themselves the smartest creatures, but octopuses have also demonstrated their intelligence in a variety of ways. This was proven a few years back when a Russian diver was exploring the Sea of Japan. There, he noticed a giant octopus and decided to take some close shots. All of a sudden, the massive mollusk swam up to him and latched on. Spreading its sucker-filled legs all around him and trying to grab his breathing equipment, the 8-legged animal also attempted to bite down on him with his sharp beak. But the diver managed to break free after pulling away the octopus. After a few harrowing seconds, the octopus swam towards the depths of the ocean. Octopus versus shark. You might think of a shark as the most ferocious predator, but here, a giant Pacific octopus was caught red-handed while attacking a spiny dogfish shark at an aquarium in Seattle. The shark was minding its own business when this unsuspected predator decided to take it down. Octopus usually don't attack a shark, but here, this one camouflaging with the bottom suddenly shot its long legs towards the lurking fish and flipped it upside down, sending the shark into a tonic immobility. After which, it grabbed the prey tightly with its suckers, taking full control over it, and eventually suffocated it within seconds. Well, this might be dubbed the most bizarre murder recorded up till now. Toad riding python. Here we have an epic scene from a wild ride. People in Australia remained dumbfounded after witnessing the strange sight of a python slithering swiftly with the toads clinging to its back. And not just one or two of them, but 10 toads were seen riding an 11-foot python. At first, this snake was assumed to be dead, but all of a sudden, it started moving across the wet field. For onlookers, this might be something unbelievable, but according to researchers, this unusual behavior of cane toads was just to avoid the flooded water. Strangely, the reptile also helped the tiny amphibians to flee the rising water. Sneaking gator. This entry needs your super attention, because if you blink, you might miss what had happened. While kayaking and fishing with his little daughter at a lake in Louisiana, this guy had no idea what he was about to encounter. Just when he decided to pull up the supposed catfish caught in his hook, all of a sudden, a killer croc came out instead. Watching the monster's jaws emerging on the surface, the guy started to move his paddle as fast as he could. Thankfully, he didn't lose his calm.
Mommy. That was a big, you see it?
And managed to escape swiftly. Well, this might be funny and scary at the same time. Grouper ate 4-foot shark. Recorded a few years back off the coast of Florida, here we have an incredible moment where a grouper left the whole fishing crew with the biggest shock of their lives. Just when the fishing captain decided to enjoy the only catch of his day, a marine poacher with some sinister plans appeared out of nowhere. A black-nosed shark was hooked after a whole day, but they weren't the only ones eyeing it up, as 3 Atlantic Goliath groupers lurking below their boat were also waiting to pounce on their prey. All of a sudden, one of them leapt out of the water and copped the 4-foot shark in its jaws, snapping the fisherman's line and plunging it to the bottom.
Magic.
Great White attacked another shark. During this heart-stopping encounter, this diver might have been torn into pieces, but thankfully he remained unharmed due to the bars of the ghost cage. This nightmarish incident occurred a few years back when a diver decided to come face to face with a great white shark by enclosing himself into an underwater ghost cage. Right after descending a few feet below the surface, a great white appeared from the deep blue ocean and started investigating the cage by biting its bottom. But before it completely chewed the cage off, another great white shark entered the frame and charged upon the first one, resulting in the drowning of both great whites back into the dark depths. Shark eats exotic fish. Okay, so the officials in this park thought and went like this. We bought a very expensive, exotic fish, and we're gonna keep it safe in the aquarium for visitors to sightsee. But we are also gonna put a shark in the aquarium, you know, for tourists. But what about the exotic fish? Oh, the shark will eat that. But wasn't it exotic and we wanted to keep it safe? Nah, it was just an amberjack, the not so exotic fish. We're good. It'd be a nice life lesson for third graders on their field trips. Bull and car. Now, this is what I call Too Fast and Too Furious, animal version. This clip couldn't have hailed from anywhere else on the planet except for Spain. Filmed in July of 2016 at Guadalajara, Spain, a bull was running through the streets of the town when it finally stopped and charged a 4x4 vehicle. Though a terrible sight for the onlookers and the people sitting in the car, no one was hurt apart from the car. But I'm hoping that they had insurance to cover this. The bull hit the car with its head 4 or 5 times before finally moving away from it. But man, oh man, the strength with which it was hitting was insane. The horn slashed the tire and punctured the radiator like it was nothing. I don't even want to imagine something living before this bull. Rhino destroys car. The only thing I'm glad about is that the car was empty. Otherwise, the people would have been on a roller coaster ride. This magnificent show of power was filmed in 2019 when an angry rhino saw a parked car of park rangers and decided to vent the anger of his lifetime on that poor car. He rolled and flipped the car like it was an empty trash can and had no weight at all. Finally, another car came in and casually drove that mad armored battle tank out of the arena. I'm not sure if a car this much totaled can be repaired or not. Looking at this picture, I think the animal featured here is a bull shark, which happens to be attacking a group of tourists. This looks like a far-fetched image to me, but when I did some research on the topic, I was shocked to find out that a bunch of bull sharks were actually seen swimming in a river in Mississippi and the Amazon rivers. They actually live in there. So, a bull shark in a river is not so much a far-fetched idea. Now, about the attack, there's also some documented proof of them attacking canoes, boats, and other animals. So, yeah, that's the story. Tiger shark and diver's head. Recorded in the waters of Fiji, here is another jolting moment when this adventurous group of divers decided to explore the underwater world and marine life. Surrounded by fish, one of the divers decided to pop up to get a better view and ended up directly in the path of a large tiger shark that emerged out of nowhere to give him the biggest shock of his life. Lucky for him, the shark wrangler was quick on the draw and shoved a bar between the diver's head and the shark's gaping mouth, triggering the shark to clamp down on it, giving the diver enough time to duck and push the shark up and out of the way of the rest of the group. Dog attacked shark. Here is a jaw-dropping moment between a pet and marine predator when a group of fishermen was trying to get a hand over a shark. Standing on the edge of the water, trying to hook a shark, with a thrill-seeker dog becoming more curious after spotting the lurking predator, and decided to descend into the water to fight the thing. Barking and growling, chasing the mighty fish in the water. Although the shark was hooked and dragged to the shore, the dog kept its calm and participated in troubling the hooked fish. However, it had to give up its one-sided war after receiving a tail slap from the shark. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos.